Dun, 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 dun. Hi, beautiful people. I have new equipment. This is great because it was real ratchet what I was doing before. So now we bad and bougie. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna be doing an ASMR video with you guys. If you can hear that? And so I'm just gonna be whispering into this mic. Should I be chewing on something? It feels really stupid from this end. Auntie Gedlu here. Just grab a seat, get comfortable. We're gonna talk about something that I feel like not enough people talk about, which is to be yourself. You hear it so much. Like, you hear people talking about like,
oh, be yourself, know yourself, blah, blah, blah.
But like, I'm sorry, but I'm in my 20s, and for so long I was told to be a specific thing, no hate, but I'm a child of immigrant parents, and there was a certain expectation. If you're not a doctor, if you're not a lawyer, if you're not in engineering, which I gave in and became an engineer, wasn't what I was meant to do. Because I was told for so long that that's the way that you gain success, that's like who you should be. And so a lot of my life, I realized as I've been in quarantine and been by myself, an unhealthy amount of time has been spent on just like self-reflecting and really figuring out what I actually like to do. And boy oh friggin' boy, do I hate engineering. I mean, I'm in my last year, so we'll finish it out. But in this day and age, there's so much of an emphasis on like being yourself, and there's not enough of an emphasis on like, how do you get to know who you are? Like, I know that there's a perception of like who I am to people. Like, I seem like this giddy, blah, 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 which I am, but there is just a lot of, I'm literally like Po from Kung Fu Panda on the outside, but inside I swear I'm Oogway. If you know, you know. If you don't watch Kung Fu Panda, if you've never watched Kung Fu Panda, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that there isn't enough of an emphasis on getting to like do things by yourself to get to know who you are. Like, I always like music is such a passion of mine. I love, like, I can talk to you about music for hours, but I never thought, hey, maybe I could produce my own music. Speaking of which, hold up. Invest in your passions, because you're a guy yourself a MIDI controller, and it's been lit. Don't mind that noise. Everything is totally fine. My point is that I got so in my head and about finding myself. I would look on social media. Started on social media because so social media is like sometimes very superficial, and I was like, dang, do I have to be like this sexy person to get in attention? Like, I have boobs, and there are wonderful women who use those boobs to get attention, and it's like, yes ma'am, woo, I'm in your corner. But it's also like not me. I'm probably a little bit more conservative in the sense of how I dress, but don't get me wrong, sometimes we like to throw in a little shoulder action. I just feel like I was looking so much to find who I was. I was looking so much at like outer things. I just realized that a lot of who I am can simply be found from like acting, like not acting like, but like that's singing, but acting as in like action-based things. So when I play the piano, when I watch a great movie, when I do these YouTube videos, honestly, I feel like I get to know myself better. And there just isn't enough of an emphasis on getting to know yourself, doing things by yourself or with people, because it doesn't always have to be by yourself. Doing things that excite you. And I just want to say, like, if you're someone like me who was looking at social media and being like, oh, well, she's like that, so should I be like that? Oh, she has this amount of likes, so should I be like that? She gets this attention. Which I think it's just because of my personality. I low-key like attention. I don't like it, but I like it at the same time. I think within moderation. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about how being yourself is, it's like, I hate hearing it, but it's also like, I get it. It's just hard to hear it when you're not truly in touch with like who you are as a person. And some people are like, Clearly you're just waffling. You're talking galum. You're waffling a lot. And by the way, is just lingo for like you're talking a lot of nonsense. But that's just a struggle that I've had. Like being in your 20s, I truly don't think that people in their 20s really know themselves, because you're still learning so much about what it means to be independent. Personalities don't change. I think perspectives change and outlooks on life change. This whole be yourself thing, it's okay if you're still trying to learn who you are. Like, it's so freeing once you get to a point where you understand who you are, but you also can surprise yourself. Like, you may think you'll act a certain way, and until you're in a certain situation, if it's just a hypothetical, it doesn't really matter. If until you're in a certain situation and you act a certain way, then you'll be like, oh dang, I didn't think I would do that. And do things that you like, write out a list of things that you really love to do, and then see how you can do it. I, for example, have a carpe diem list. Where's my phone? Carpe diem in Latin means seize the day, in case you're an uncultured swine. I'm joking. Nothing but love. Here it is. I probably doubt you can see it, but on here it has album, which is like my way of encouraging myself to do some music production just for fun, not that serious. Sometimes I get too caught up in like,
oh my gosh, I have to be the next like Pharrell.
And be active for 30 minutes. So like physical activity, exercise is a great way to get to like really out of your head. I'm also an overthinker. I swear one of my hobbies should be overthinking, because the way I can just sit down for hours and just overthink things instead of just doing beep. Just do it. Like, okay, Nike. Sponsorships, Nike. Yikes. And then reading a book, like books to me are like food, man. They're just so great because they offer such a different perspective, and I feel like they bulk up your vocabulary. And so when you have like an array of tools, basically words to me are tools of like expressing yourself and your ideas. When you have more tools, you're a better builder. So hey, that's the Uguay in me. I love my little philosophical one-liners. And then Soleil. So Soleil is a company that I started. Won't get into that, but that brings me a lot of joy. And then Perform. So like I didn't realize this was like a like low-key thing that I had in me that I like sort of suppressed because it started to become something where I was too much of a people pleaser. But performance, like, it's so much fun to just be, I feel like everyone does this, but to just pretend that you're like in a music video and you're like the sultry, like, oh me, boy, I don't want you unless you got money. You know, like I really love performing because it's so wonderful to like be a source of entertainment for people. YouTube is also another thing on my carpe diem list. Check the news. I do not want to be ignorant to certain things that are happening in this world. It's so easy to just be like out of touch. I don't want that. So I make it a point to check the news. Be careful with your sources too, because people be spewing, especially nowadays, people be spewing out things because they're trying to get like views and stuff. Just be careful with what sources you're getting your information from. And then Duolingo. The last one is time with God. I'm a Christian, for those of you who cared or were curious, and so I just make it a part of my daily life to, you know, have a relationship with God and maintain it. Make sure that, because I know I'm my best self when I'm in tune with the man's upstairs, and I'm just like, you know what, if I am completely in tune with him, then I just realize everything else falls into place. Like all my insecurities, all my worries, it's just like, bro, chill out, like just live your life. I have zero train of thought, in case you were curious. There are no tracks in my train of thought. So if you like a more structured video, I'm not your girl. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'll try to be more structured, but there's just so many ideas that pop into my head, and I think it's just fun to be on the roller coaster of a ride of what goes on in my head. I just wanted to come on here. Hopefully this, like, I don't know, resonates with someone, because I just know that in this quarantine time, I was really struggling with, who am I? Like, am I putting on a front to please people? Am I putting on a front because I've been told that I should be a certain way? I hate that society thinks, like, to make people more comfortable, they put people in boxes. Like, that's something that you hear a lot. Why? Just be comfortable with differences. We're different, period. get used to it. I love people who are super self-expressive and like, because like, why not? The world is comprised of so many different personalities and people and experiences. Why wouldn't you be so proud of what your story is, you know? Yeah, this is like, if anything, therapy for me. Hopefully in that process, the main goal is like, I hope it helps someone. I don't want to end this with a cliche, but I'm gonna have to. Be yourself, because there's so much value in who you are as an individual, and when you start to become something you're not, you're wasting what you already are. Oogway coming out. Oogway coming out. That was like, quote. That was a good quote. But I'm really serious. Like, I really hate the fact that I spent so much of my time trying to conform to something I wasn't, where I just wasted precious time that I could have gotten really investing in myself. Yeah, I love you all, even though I can't see you. If nobody told you, I love you, okay? I love you, B. Okay, my mic can't go that far. We're gonna end this now.